Bruce.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I'll say at the outset that the government's ongoing cuts and privatisation of the Australian public service is undermining the quality of services to Australians. To people who can't get a consistent NDIS plan in any kind of sensible time, because they're all labour hire contractors, to people waiting for their age pension claim for month after month after month, because Centrelink doesn't have any staff, to people wondering how the once competent public service could make a $60 billion stuff-up because there's not enough sensible human beings left checking the work. My personal favourite under this government, the visa and citizenship processing, trying to privatise the $1 billion system to your Liberal Party mates, and you abandoned the tender, wasting $92 million of taxpayer money. $92 million cash, gone on a failed tender, trying to get rid of the public servants. Australians are sick of privatisation and they're not buying it anymore. I want to put some facts, though, in this debate and actually set out how the government is doing this. It's all being driven fundamentally by arbitrary caps on the public service, which forces privatisation by stealth, even where it's proven to be cheaper to do the work in-house or build capability in-house. It's no accident, it's a deliberate agenda to cap staff numbers and force the privatisation. Now, since coming to office, we heard from the previous speaker that it's reasonable and logical. He used his reasonable voice. Since coming to office, the Liberals have cut the number of public servants by 18,000. That's a 10% cut in raw numbers, which is bad enough. But in real terms, Australia's population's grown. So with a growing and ageing population and a growing demand for public services, instead of meeting this demand, the Liberals cut and privatise. Why? There is no reason. The only reason the government has ever given for this number is it was the number when John Howard left office. That's it. That is the reason for the number. Magical golden era. 13 years on, since 2007, Australia's population has grown by 5 million people, or 23%. But if we look at the number of public servants per person in Australia, a per capita proxy measure, it's a cut of 22.1% in real terms under the Liberals' formula. It's deliberate. And there's two ways this is happening, this privatisation. Firstly, the staffing caps force outsourcing to temporary casual labour hire firms. The Auditor-General recently revealed over $2 billion blown on casual workers because of the staffing caps. The explosion in the spending on labour hire firms raises serious value for money and probity questions. We've proven this through Public Accounts and Audit Committee last year. We had departments in here saying it costs us 40% more to hire the IT contractors for years in the ABS, and they're only wasting those millions of dollars of money because this bloody government's ideology— I withdraw. Because this government's ideology of privatisation is driving this waste. They pretend it's a competitive process, but the data reveals, it's very revealing, there's these magical opaque little panels where you get on the government's mates list through the process and then departments can buy from you. One lucky company got almost half of the $1.1 billion spending spree on recruitment firms. One. And 11 lucky firms scored over 80% of $1.1 billion spending, although there were 61 companies on the magic list. More than $4.2 billion was awarded through 10,000 individual contracts which were awarded past the panel's end date, breaching all the procurement rules. And the second way that the government's rorting this and privatising the public service is through outsourcing non-consulting work to the big four expensive firms. There's been an explosion of billions of dollars of contracting to the big four consulting firms over the last few years. The graph is almost exponential. But interestingly, a decreasing percentage of this work is actually flagged as consultancies on the government's tender system. So that means one of two things. Either they're covering it up and departments are not flagging this work as consultancies because they don't like all the articles showing the blowout in consultancies. Or, I think more likely, the staffing caps are forcing departments to contract out low-value work which should be done more cheaply in departments. We've proven this. It should be done more cheaply. The government goes on, oh, we're the small government people, we hate waste. No, you hate public servants. You want to privatise all this work at greater cost to the big four and these labour hire firms. Why? There is no reason except mad ideology. COVID-19's triggered a deep nationwide reflection on big issues, rebuilding our national capability and the over-casualisation of work. The UK and the US are further down this privatisation road, and their response has been a disaster. The case for rebuilding the public sector is overwhelming.